Very first shots, Beretta 92, Blazer Brass 115 grain. Easy stuff. 10 yards.
What I'm doing here is alternating between double action and single action, but it's always a good idea to decock the pistol and try to get as many shots on target as you can with double action. You need to get familiar with that to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing with your firearm, so you can see me doing that as many times as possible. I want to get a group together that shows me on all of my double action shots only.
Really? This is what my life has come to, is doing this.
This is a gun that I picked up at a gun show today, and I didn't want to miss an opportunity to take it to the range and test it. So I'm actually testing a couple of different types of ammunition right here. I'm going to be testing some 124 grain NATO as well as just some basic old Blazer Brass.
On target number 6. 10 yards, very first shot with that gun ever. Alright, now let's go to our single action. I'm going to shoot at target number 2 up at the very top.
When you have a double action, single action gun like a Beretta 92 or a SIG P226, one of the things you need to do is test both functions.
That was kind of all over the place. Alright, single action for real.
This gun was a pretty good deal. I was able to pick it up for less than factory new. This is an Italian-made Beretta and in stainless, so it was something that was definitely on my shopping list, and I was happy to add it to my collection. I do like all steel single doubles, and I haven't bought a CZ yet, so maybe that'll be on the list in a couple more years, but this is one that I'm glad to add to my collection. It seems to shoot pretty good. However, there are some things, and if you see my companion video, I will show you some stuff that I'd like to upgrade at maybe at some point, but as of today, it looked like it shot pretty good.
That was 10 rounds at 10 yards in single action. We're just an inch off. I mean, but that's not anything that's bad. I mean, that could literally just be me, but that's the group. I feel good about that. All right, I got 15 rounds now, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at 15 yards. Target number 4, that'll be blue.
At one point, I used to have a Beretta M9A1 when it first came out, but one of the things was, I think there was something that was wrong with the barrel on that gun because I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it. I've not always been the best pistol shooter, but at least my shooting today was above average with a factory handgun, and so obviously I think the mystique of the Beretta 92 FS is probably not lost on me anymore now that my experience has been more regular and normalized. This was a pleasant shooting day, and there was very little recoil, lots of room on the grip for my large hands, and so that being said, it was just a nice, pleasant shooting experience. I never had any malfunctions for the entire day. It was absolutely great. I could see myself shooting this a lot.
This is a 5-yard drill, 15 rounds, double to single.
If you have a single action, double action gun, you need to be doing double to single drills because the gun doesn't have a safety. Instead, you use double action as a safety. And so you need to be able to shoot 2 shots consecutively, one in double action and one in single action. And being able to do this with any gun is necessary before you start to carry it. So I believe that this type of drill is necessary for anyone who wants to carry a double single gun like a CZ75 or a Taurus or a Beretta.
Everything feels really tuned in and feels good. Double action feels great.
I thought this was a particularly good deal today, even though this gun had seen some better days. It was a little dirty when I got it, so I took it home, took it apart and cleaned it, make sure that it was lubed up and everything looks good. It has the stainless mag that's supposed to come with it. I plan on getting some other magazines for it. The main issue for me today was the sights, as they seem to have faded over time. They maybe have been orange at one point, but now they are seeming a dark red. I found it really hard to pick up with my eyes the way they are today. I'm in my late 30s, and so I can't see like I used to. So I'd like to maybe see those white or a bright contrast color, maybe even fiber optic. So other than that, though, the shooting seemed to be fine. I didn't really have any issues that there's anything to write home about. Unfortunately, the gun was absolutely dead nuts reliable.
What's the All right, so that's a 10-yard group of 15. I'm gonna keep shooting at that and see if I can get those to come in a little bit more.
A very typical thing that happens when you shoot a gun for the first time is that you will shoot low left. That seems to be the shooter's downfall. Low left seems to be anticipating recoil or not having a good idea how the trigger likes to break, and probably needing to sort out your grip. So you see in a couple of the groups that I have here that the trigger, break, and the grip are probably affecting my grip and pulling low left, as well as the sight issue that I talked about before, where I may not have been able to see the sights exactly as I should have. But that being said, we've put a couple hundred rounds to this gun today, and the groups seem to be consistent where they are, and you can see me even making a comment here and there that I don't think that there's anything wrong with the gun. It just seems to be that I am inconsistent in the same way.
Now I'm going to do a bill drill, 6 shots with the old Beretta 92 stainless used gun from a gun show. I'm going to do a bill drill with double action to start.
A bill drill is when you shoot 6 shots consecutively as fast as you think you can hit. Generally, you'll do this between 5 and 10 yards, and you'll do this in order to see how many times you can shoot a target in a tactical situation. So you're going to see me doing that here a couple of times. Generally, when you do these, it's a good idea to fill your magazines up in capacities that have 6 in each, 6, 12, 18, etc.
Results of however many rounds of bill drill. Majority of them are in the B zone. A bunch of them drifted off here, a couple here, but then a bunch down here. So obviously these are low. So what I need to do is slow down my bill drill. And I'm going to see how many I can get up here. All right, this will be another 10-yard double bill drill, starting with double action.
Anyone can shoot a static target, but it is a good idea to actually test your skills with a drill to make sure you can actually apply them.
I'm already seeing a group that's higher, so I need to slow down a little more, even though it feels teedy. Results are better. You see from where we were before, I'm having groups that are punching up here. So we're seeing improvement as we're going. This is real time, this is the first time I'm shooting this gun. The idea is that we can try to find where our consistency needs to start. I'm going to do 5 drills of a Mozambique at 5 yards. I'm going to still use the same target, but the idea is to see what we can do with this gun without any practice. That's 2 in the body, 1 in the head. The one that we're going to be looking for is the headshot, because 2 in the body is easy at 5 yards, but transitioning up to the 1 in the head is harder. Starting with double action.
Remember, with guns like these, you should always start with the double action shot for your first shot, and follow it up with the single action shots. You are never going to carry this gun around with it cocked and locked, as this gun does not really have a locking, it just has a decocker mechanism.
Interesting. 2 distinct patterns developed here. The body, they were all a little bit left. These ones came up here, and then 2 came up here in 5 drills. It's clear. The gun is shooting normal, but my pattern, my hold, and my trigger pull are showing what's going on here. This is a good sign. That means that the gun is consistent and there's nothing wrong with the firearm. That just means that I need to practice with it. Now I have just whatever was left in this box, and I'm going to try to mag dump everything that I can at the top left target. Here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and single action.
This is a good opportunity to see how the gun shoots relatively flat in my hands as I'm shooting 13 rounds.
That's not terrible. So I think that was 13 shots at 5 yards. I mean, that's more than adequate for showing what the gun can be doing in a defensive situation. So you know that at 5 yards, if you have to send a melee, a volley of fire, you can do it and be remotely accurate enough to hit a assailant with enough firepower to stop a life-threatening situation. Now I'm going to do something different. which is I'm going to use a second type of ammo. You will not understand what your gun does until you have tried multiple forms of ammunition in it. Every gun is different, and every gun has a particular ammo and weight and speed that it likes. So this is 15 rounds of 9mm NATO. 9mm NATO is basically 124 grain plus P. I'm going to do largely what I was doing before, but expect the impact area to be slightly different.
Whenever you get a new gun, one of the things that you should do is try multiple types of ammunition through it, ultimately with the intention that you're going to try your carry ammo through it, and at least buy a couple of boxes of that, even if it costs, $55, $60. There's no replacement for practice. If you shoot 9mm, one of the best things to do is buy some boxes of 9mm NATO. 9mm NATO is technically what's called military ammunition, and it is higher pressure rated, which is closer to what a 124 plus P would look like. And technically that's what most defense ammunition is going to feel like. And so if you want to make sure that your gun is tuned in, it's probably a good idea to test it with 9mm NATO. So buy a few boxes and wear your gun in. Make sure you can align the point of impact with where the 9 NATO is going.
Okay, I thought that it would be a pet, but it's actually the exact same one. So that's all 15 rounds at 10 yards. Nice small area. I mean, that's not bad at all. And that's that. What would we say is the actual thesis of what we've learned today? I think that the Beretta 92 that was used, that I purchased from the gun show, was an excellent gun. I will be happy to work with it some more in the future. And I think that the things that I went through today to test it were exactly the same types of things that I would do on any used gun that I bought. Given that we know that most used guns don't come with things like warranties or return policies, it's best to try to put them through their paces when we have the opportunity, and I'm glad I got to do that today. Hope y'all are doing well. Have a nice day.